Hey folks, how you all doing? This is Con over coming to you with another episode of I was gonna say XCOM 2, but it's Company of Heroes 2 Fight Night. And this particular little map right here, this little gem, is a 2v2 between WmD Spanky and WmD Predators against the Wehrmacht forces of Crossfire and the OKW forces of Brickman. I should have mentioned before, obviously, that we do see just two USF players on some Muskie Winter over here to the west. And with the Germans on the eastern side, we have ourselves a real kind of, Western front thing going on here. Well, both sides are definitely going and breaking out early up. Let's take a quick look at commanders. We do see that Spanky's already set himself to be the heavy cavalry company, so looking to maybe use those Rangers as well as working towards that Pershing. And with the Rifleman field defenses, we might not see too many. Actually, we're seeing a surprising number of rear echelons already. We do see that there's kind of kicking out into some early combat here between Spanky and Brickman. And that fight may not go well for the rear echelons. There we go. Let's just turn this sound down a little bit more. There we go. But in the meantime, so what is WmD Predators going to be doing? Well, first things he's going to be doing is picking up this fuel point over here, trying to stymie early German expansion. But for commanders, he's got the Tactical Support Company. He's also got the Airborne Company for maybe some paratroopers. And the Armor Company. So my guess would probably see the Armor Company. As good as that might be, we're going to see these rear echelons getting forced back to base rather quickly. And luckily for them, they can just kind of run straight across the ice, and there's absolutely no indirect fire to kind of worry them. I guess these riflemen move right back from west to east, kind of chase away this Kubelwagen pretty quickly as everyone else kind of caps out the fuel as well. So we see both sides trying to frustrate the other one by taking the fuel pretty early on. And while fire is definitely going on there, we'll take a quick look at the strategic map and see it's probably going to be some sort of a 50-50 map with kind of a bizarre blending of action going on right here. And we do see at the same time, though, Spanky is getting forced away. His troops getting a little bit beat up, as well as an early Wehrmacht sniper coming out here from Crossfire. Definitely going to be an issue for these riflemen. And yes, before things get too much more crazy, even though we are seeing more action like all over the place right now, Brickman at the same time is bringing in Breakthrough Doctrine. He's also bringing in Luftwaffe ground forces with that kind of lackluster MG-34, as well as a Special Operations Doctrine, and Crossfire is bringing in Jaeger Armor Doctrine, Luftwaffe Supply, as well as Lightning War Doctrine. So a lot of call-ins from both sides here, and we do notice that this is getting rather bloody early on. Already only 3 minutes into the game, and we see tons and tons of bodies dropping off of Spanky. And while his forces have not often on the map, we do see at least that his ally is coming up with a triple rifleman breakout. Definitely putting pressure on this kind of god church right here, no pun intended. And bizarrely enough, we do see that these riflemen right here are playing tanks at 20 paces, oof, with these Volksgrenadiers, who actually might even be able to pick them up as he retreat. Is that going to be the case? One less volley? No, they do not get picked up. Instead, we see these Sturmpiles get forced away. These Grenadiers take over the spot instead. And the first guy to get grenades on the German side might get some real, death dealing being done over here. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to happen before those Grenadiers are forced away again. And right now, Crossfire is just packing in 3 squads. So, two Grenadiers, one of Sturmpiles, and one of that early sniper. But it seems to be enough to kind of force people away. You do see that there's a lot of U.S. forces heading back to the dugout. And although the map itself is starting to slowly break out into a more expected resource distribution, that may not maintain its way for long. The German forces definitely do seem to have a slight increase in terms of just raw fuel, and well, not raw fuel, but excuse me, in terms of raw bodies that got on the map. And they're getting a lot of, area dominating fire, let's say. How to put this? Weight of fire. That's the term I'm looking for. There's a lot of weight of fire on single squads here and there. You're probably going to see these riflemen in a second get pushed away. They are beating on these Grenadiers quite a bit. But with 3 squads right here, I kind of feel it's only a matter of time until the riflemen get forced away. I'm actually kind of surprised that these Volksgrenadiers have not been pushed up around, never mind, one side or the other. But we do see Kubelwagen coming in instead to force back those riflemen. Yes, but now Brickman has already called in his first truck. Excuse me. Same with the mechanized regiment up here, so we'll probably look to see maybe working towards, what could he be working towards? Maybe a Panzer II in a little bit. He doesn't really have the fuel income for it just yet, and with the Americans right now picking up both fuel points and forcing away this Kubelwagen. But maybe kind of a rough opportunity for an early push from a Panzer II. By the same token, we do see a really, really fast captain coming out of Predators, and are we seeing any kind of tech coming out for Spanky? Yes, Spanky is also bringing in a captain as well, so I'm not entirely sure why they're pushing the captain tech too quickly. I don't really see the usage of having in maybe a Stewart, but maybe they're looking for trying to do a pack howitzer play and start putting a lot of indirect fire to kind of push away the German troops inside this church right here. Now, for Crossman, he has actually put up his second tech building as well, so infantry company is coming in. We can obviously see he's got tons and tons of grenadiers coming out. Oh, and there we go. Finally, actually, no, I'm sorry. I am completely wrong. He's just finally teched up for the first time here. But almost immediately he brings in his leichte mechanized company. So we might see, just maybe, some half-track play out of him. I would probably be very surprised by that. We are going to probably see this Kubelwagen going down. This Captain Surprise coming up and popping him pretty good. Well, one more shot could do it. But it seems like that Kubelwagen's going to limp its way back to the road and limp its way back out of our lives and allowing this Americans to take over the VP in the north. In the middle of the map, this little meeting engagement just continues to go on and on and on. And we are going to see an early Stewart coming out of Predators. Is Spanky still going for that? Spanky's not going for it yet. But we do see Rangers are now on option for Spanky. So we're kind of interesting to see whether or not he decides to shift from one manner of infantry to another. But instead it does look like he's going to go for an early Stewart. As well, not the fastest I've seen, but an early one nonetheless. But to kind of combat that already, we are seeing an early, oh my gosh, 1 second. Just seeing this little bit of action going on over here. Yeah, these shrimp piles are going to get forced away pretty quickly. It doesn't matter how good those MP40s are from close range. There's just way too many rifles there to be, effectively combated. And I'm surprised to see there's actually no machine gun out for either. Oh no, we do finally see a machine gun being placed, but where is that machine gun? Oh, it's too far back to actually be contributing to any kind of fight right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we got ourselves some real World War II action going on out here. And with a incendiary grenade coming out, we are probably going to see these riflemen and these rear echelons getting pushed back pretty quickly, but no, instead we actually do see the Germans push back. And we also do see also a 222 coming out for Crossfire. Might not be too great against those captains, and that Stewart as well is going to kind of force it away. We also are going to see a Panzer II coming out for Brickman. I'm a little bit concerned that right now they're a little bit outgunned by things. That's kind of being shown by this mass retreat coming back from Brickman. And I'm surprised actually at this point that the Americans have not had more control of this given map. We are going to see an ambo finally coming out for Spanky, and Predators, he's doing one as well. So we're seeing not so much a mirror build back and forth because there's an extra rear echelon for Spanky, but we're seeing a very, very similar build order from both American players. And we are going to see this machine gun Wehr actually getting pushed back out as well, which is probably just good for it. And this 222 spawn getting forced back with both the Stewart as well as that captain right there. But of course, now that we have the possibility of some anti-tank fire coming in, so Captain Riffer unfortunately is a little bit too late to actually contribute to it. Maybe he's going to try to lock down this road. Might be a great idea. We might see... Oh no, we see instead a captain kind of coming and locking down this house. And although he's going to get forced away, we might see now the Stewart might get forced back as well, kind of left without any real kind of legitimate hard counter to this infantry. Whew. Tons of action going on though, folks. We got 2 Captain Warfares already coming out for Brickman, and we now have that Pack 40 coming out for Crossfire, but the question is, will that be enough? With mines in front of the church over here, that might be a little bit too much for the Germans to handle, at least initially. And I am surprised right now to see that this fire is not being returned effectively from the German players. In fact, just taking a lot of fire out of cover, which is not going to be a great long-term matter for them. It's going to be even worse now, seeing these riflemen are going to kind of come up here and just neatly steal away this garrison and probably move into this other garrison to the east. So controlling both these blockhouses right here and force them back pretty much as much AV as possible. Hey guys, I don't even know exactly where to be looking on this one. There's just action going on everywhere. Everywhere. We are going to see that this sniper already has got 23 kills, up to 2-star vet. And you can't really blame him. There's just been some plethora of targets all over the place. Did that Kubowagen go down? It just did. So the Kubowagen just bought it up here, got ambushed by that Stewart. And yes, guys, it's just tons and tons of stuff going on over here. We are going to see the Stewart crewmen do drop out of their tank to kind of repair it as the first indirect fire comes on the field for Predators. And that's probably the first divergence between Predators build and Spanky's build, is an actual indirect fire coming down for one over the other. Do you want to check real quick to see? No lieutenant tech still from either player, no major tech being kind of brought in. But we are going to see that WmD has decided to go for the tactical support company, so look to see him start loading on crazy amounts of those M1919 machine guns, which is definitely going to tip the infantry fight in his favor, at least for right now. Positively for the German players, though, at least they are picking up a squad wipe here and there. We're going to see it replaced right away by those Rangers, which, considering the disparity in infantry support fire back and forth, might just really dominate the early infantry game against the Germans. We're going to see this Panzer II apparently has just run over a mine, and he's definitely getting wrecked right now, but these Verketten as well as that Pack 40 are going to be more than enough to kind of back up. Oh no, never mind. I could be wrong here. One more shot does take out that Panzer II, and now all the anti-tank in the world does start unloading on that Stewart and does take it out in turn. We're going to see the 222 also take some firepower from the captain squads. And with the addition now of that Pack howitzer, this house start becomes a liability, even though it is locking down the center part of this map. 12 minutes in, 478 to 419, Germans do still have the lead, and shockingly, we just still do not see... Oh no, we're seeing another Panzer II coming out. Maybe not the best play. Maybe it might have been better to kind of tech up a little bit quicker. But we see another Panzer II coming out to kind of maybe deal with all this infantry that's still on the field. Especially those 1919s out. It's still going to be hell to pay for those poor Germans for quite a while. You see the howitzer has 1 or 2 hits away in this garrison before it dies. Might even see it take it out. There we go, yep. Just kind of preemptively, so not going to worry about things like that. We do see the Rangers now leading the way down here to the south and picking up those Thompsons, so it could be extremely deadly in close-up action in that CQB. Americans might go under a very, very minor trip cap, but that's going to last for a couple of seconds while they pick up the middle VP. They're going to lose the outside portions, and never mind, they're actually going to they might manage to own both, maybe there's a 2-to-1 cap, maybe even a cap against the Germans on this one. Oh no, never mind. There goes those Rangers. Those Rangers were definitely putting some good fire down on the German infantry, but the addition of that Panzer II is just wrecking face too much. I might have been a little bit wrong about that one, guys. My apologies there. Crossfire in the meantime, are we seeing him tech up at all? No, not quite yet. He still does have that medic bunker, which is a very good investment right now. And unfortunately for these Pack 40s, it might not be more of a liability to stick these guys out on the ice. Not only are they exposed to the elements and they're not really wearing their ice skates, if one unlucky Pack howitzer shot could take out a very, very big investment. But I think I'd be more worried right now for this 30-kill sniper, who's now going to get chased off the ice by these charging rifleman squads. That said, this 222 comes in, as well as this machine Gewehr, going to force back these riflemen pretty quick. I already suppressed this one, and I'm always kind of surprised that a machine gun doesn't break open holes in the ice or make cracks to slow them down or something. But yes, that is where we are right now. We are going to see a 57 mil coming out for Predators as he continues to kind of try to lock down the center part of this map. This mine over here has seemed to have been exploded. I'm not entirely sure by what. Maybe that was what got picked up by that Panzer II before. I don't know. And we are going to see now finally some of these Grenadiers getting upgraded with LMG 42s. Definitely taking on this captain pretty easily, forcing that guy away. Maybe even picking up another model, not too sure. Yes, picked up another model. Are they going to pick up this captain? Because that could be quite brutal. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. It does seem in the meantime, though, that there has to be something to take out this indirect fire. It's starting to be quite a nuisance for the German players. To watch this round come in, takes out 2 models really, really quickly. And I continue to be surprised that Brickman is not taking up. I am also kind of surprised that Crossfire is not taking up. No, he is finally taking up. Excellent. It's about time. So we have this kind of battle of the bulge going on right now on the strategic map, as you can see. This big mess in the middle as opposed to anything else. Hold on a second. And we're back, guys. You know, I know you didn't really see a whole lot. Just kind of skipped a second or two of video time there. But I had a quick little matter I had to take care of. And it does seem that these Grenadiers are trying to kind of crump their way back into this. They are going to take out a couple of models on that pack howitzer. I'm not so sure it could be really as far up as it is. But maybe this will kind of dominate this part of the ice. Still a little bit out of range to do it, though, unfortunately, it seems. Oof, that 222 does take a wicked hit from that kind of high explosive. I'm actually not too sure. Can anyone actually tell me what kind of shell that howitzer is supposed to be firing? Because if it is a high explosive shell, I realize that the 222 is quite poorly armored. And forgive me, guys, for missing the fact that a Matrix has kind of come out for Spanky. There's just so much going on in this map. We see also a Sherman being brought out. So check Predators real quick. Predators will still not have that kind of material. Crossfire still does not have all the way up. No, he's got Tech 2 out, but he doesn't have it building up. So the Germans for a while are going to be outgunned by a lot of these forces out in the field, but even though we do see that they are starting to get this map back in order. Like I said, the central part of this map right here is being a magnet. It's like Beehive Co. 2 right now. Not a lot of play going on to the north or the south. Instead, we are going to see the Sherman kind of marauding up here to the north, just kind of trying to pick on a little bit of squads here and there. Pretty much everyone else just kind of throws themselves into the meat grinder. And this poor Panzer II is just taking tons of fire. And with really no way outside those mechanics back at base to kind of fix things, he's going to be out of the game for quite a bit of time. We are going to finally see a Stuka coming out, which might be a good idea to kind of wreck all these garrisons in the center part of the map and maybe even wipe stuff like this M57. But as you do see, that strafing run has come in for the P-47, which has damaged quite a bit and forced a lot of German infantry back. Unfortunately for Spanky, it does not allow him to really kind of move up to the north too easily, and as Brickman does choose the Special Operations Doctrine as a commander, we are going to see that Spanky is probably having a little bit harder of a time than Predators is. That's not to say that Predators had all the luck. He still has an M57, he's got missing a couple of crewmen. Pack howitzer as well, which is pretty much in danger of getting picked up. I'm not sure I really like having this howitzer, like I said, really this far up, even if it does put pressure on this MG. And we are going to finally see Brickman actually pull out a SWS to kind of supply things. And I can only wonder if he's finally going to bring out a battle group headquarters to heal his troops. But luckily for him, he does pick up a rifleman squad. Unfortunately for him, we are going to see a Calliope coming out for a WmD Predators. A funny little side note, when I was a younger kid, I always thought it was a Calliope. Didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me, that word. No, not entirely sure how that really worked, but, you know, a Calliope, and that's opposed to a Calliope. Whew. But yes, that kind of fire should put a very, very big impression into the game. It's going to be quite deadly to be any kind of Axis infantry on this ice at all, because the second that thing opens up, I can pretty much guarantee a squad wipe. And where is that thing going to line up? It's going to line up right in front of this pack howitzer and right by this 57mm. So my guess is trying to spot to see what he can kind of pick on immediately. And yep, here comes a volley. It's coming down the ice, or is it coming in further east? Oh no, he's aiming for the ice. So you can see right now, guys, you see a very, very big interdiction force being applied to this ice, breaking it all up instead, and highlighting for the German forces really how unfortunately deadly it's going to be anywhere near the middle part of the map. However, interestingly enough, here comes a Stuka in return, so we might see a very, very devastating barrage in return. The question is where? Is it coming in short? It's going to come along. Oh no, it is just trying to establish a beaten path for their own forces as they kind of take back part of this part of this other part of the map. Wow, I sounded like Porky Pig there for a second, guys. My apologies. We're going to see these rear echelons going to run into a storm of MG fire, immediately dropping a model as well as about 50% of their health. Two guys dropping immediately. I'm going to see him drop. Yeah, not entirely sure what Spanky's doing right there. I'm guessing he might be getting a little bit lost in the micro being going on. He's going to pick up a Pack 40 in the north, but that 222 might be able to chase away these Rangers, even with the addition of those Thompson submachine guns. Excellent dodge over there, out for Crossfire. A little bit unfortunate for him to drop a model anyway from the MG, so the submachine gun fire, not the MG fire, but the submachine gun fire. But that being said, he still kind of came out okay. And these poor Volks Grenadiers were like, hey dude, we were in awesome cover. Oh wait, never mind. As the wall kind of gets taken out. And these riflemen over here in the north are going to be quite dominant, and getting forced over the P-47 is not going to help out these Grenadiers. Hoo-wee! So was that the Battle Group Headquarters? Yes, the Battle Group Headquarters coming out for Brickman finally. And as you can see right now too, there is a Panzer IV now on the field, which should be enough to match that Sherman up in the north. What does not match, however, is this Calliope, which is firing another volley again, and my guess is right about here. Yes. Bracketing that MG, but unfortunately for him, that Garrison is going to be a nice little kind of, not so much shot blocker, but a magnet for enemy fire. However, the Germans need to kind of get out on their horse here with the second Sherman Calliope coming out. Ooh, never mind guys, let's check out here in the north. There is the action between the Sherman and that Panzer IV, but it does look like the Panzer IV is backing away before it gets picked on by any sort of rifle grenades, which I think is why it's doing it right now. Yes, they're trying to get in range for rifle grenades. They're going to pick it up pretty easily in a second. 3, 2, 1, punk. And a loss from halfway across the map to impact on that Panzer IV. But luckily for them, the Panzer IV has things well under control with a 39 kill sniper over here to the north still, as well as the 2 Pak-40s to ward off any kind of armored assault. Unfortunately for the Germans, they are not looking too good in terms of map control, and with, like I said, this Calliope, the 2 Calliopes on the map, probably see the maiden volley from this particular one right here, getting bunkered up behind this garrison right here.
German forces tracking on 300 points.
We are going to see them going down by almost 100 points, 100 tickets right now, and without any real way of getting rid of their tormentors. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Machine gunner is dead. Big stupid deal. If the Stukas Fuß has to depend on the machine gunner for defense, then something is desperately wrong in the first place. We are going to actually see an infrared searchlight going down, a very, very interesting adaptation coming out for the German forces. And I cannot for the life of me find out where this... There we go. So I cannot for the life of me find out where those rockets are going. Not a whole lot being accomplished from them, though. Maybe some of them impacted on the trees? I'm not entirely sure why that happened. I think that's what happened. Something impacted on the trees and did not do a whole lot of damage. Crossfire at the same time has not picked up his own commander. So we do see the Lightning War Doctrine coming out for him. So probably going to be a late Tiger. In quite a bit of time now. That fuel is a ways off. And he's floating an absolute ton of manpower. But so is Brickman. Actually, so is Spanky. So some resource management kind of might be needed a little bit more out of all forces on the field. But the Germans at the same time are trying to desperately steal back part of the map. They're being forced away by pretty much just hardcore armored assault. And it's not helping that the Sherman continues to maraud up here in the north. How many kills does this have? Only 3 kills, but it's been quite instrumental in damaging and forcing back that P4, who is still not completely repaired. And there is now a Pershing on the map. So the Germans are in a big pile of shice, if you know what I mean. What is this over here? Is that a mine that never went fully down. And this Panzer IV is going to have quite a rude surprise any second now as this Pershing kind of comes up and says, hey, buddy. But this Pershing is running afoul of these Pak-40s. This anti-tank gun front, as well as this Panzer IV, has just shocked the crew, which might be a swift death for the Pershing. And wow, even before that smoke barrage can come in, that Pershing does get picked up. Just kind of highlighting, guys, one of the times that you do not want to send in all of your troops at one time. If you cannot support your troops, can't support your tanks rather, with infantry, don't send them in. If you can't support your infantry without tanks, don't send them in. That's the reason that this entire game is basically made to teach you the importance of, back away Panzer II, back away Panzer II. That kind of teach you guys the idea of combined arms. We see the sniper, by the way, move up, 41 kills to his name. I hope he kind of makes it to the end of the game because he's been at the Vasily sight sev for the German player right now. And I can't help but wonder, will he make it into range? Oh, never mind, the captain's right there. Might be better to back up. We are going to see a very, very quick fire coming in, and not doing a whole lot to that Sherman, but is definitely doing a fair amount of damage to that M57.
The enemy is overrunning.
M1 rather, not the M57, M1. And maybe, just maybe, you see the snipers peek up here and kind of do a nice little double tap to clear away that gun. No, instead we see him pull back. And with a Calliope barrage coming in, it was the first of the Calliope barrages coming in, as well as though a Stuka close air support. Oh my gosh, we do see one of these Calliopes getting picked up.
Medium tank.
Ugh, that's always painful whenever you see something like that happen. By driving over the ice and getting shattered ice instead. Unfortunately for the Germans, these Stukas are not going to do a whole lot else. Just instead, not being able to really engage what they don't see. Bizarrely enough, I never really understood that particular part of the ability, is I would think that the Stukas are on station, they should be able to support and put fire on anything underneath them, but right now, picking up a Sherman for that usage of the ability is still a very, very good draw. Unfortunately for the Germans, though, they keep forgetting about that 57 mil that just kind of chills over here and just starts gaining veterancy.
The enemy has cut our supply chain.
It is worth noting, by the way, that Brickman has been dropping squads quite a bit. He's down to just one squad of infantry right now and some vehicles, and that one Rakettenwerfer. Has Crossfire been doing a little bit better, marginally better in terms of unit preservation? WmD Predator, as well as Spanky, are also been having a pretty good job of unit preservation. Not to say they've been perfect with it, but there's definitely been a lot better maintenance, let's say, and retreating options being done by the American players than the collective German squad. We're going to see another Calliope coming out immediately, though, too, and we might see another barrage. No, apparently no barrage just yet. The Sherman, however, is going to rotate to the southern part of the map. This begins to try to pick on... Ooh, this Panzer IV, which has finally been fully repaired. How nice.
We are at 200 points.
And Brickman, so help me God, please invest into something, anything. And we see another Calliope barrage right around here to the center part, not doing a whole lot. In fact, pretty much missing everything. Even this volley up here, this fire up here to the north isn't doing a whole lot from the Stuka Safus. What we see instead, this Panzer IV is going to run smack dab into the Sherman yet again, and now this time the Sherman's going to back away quite a bit before the Panzer IV. Nope, never mind, takes him on. Yep, and that eliminates quite an armor advantage for the American player. Oh, but this close range Calliope barrage brutally just hammers this push by German infantry, and both anti-tank guns are forced to kind of retreat in kind of very, very short order to get out of their, lickety-split before their skulls get lickety-split by some of those rockets. Taking a quick look at the strategic map overall, we are going to see that the forces for the Germans are getting forced back quite a bit, and that's been kind of the name of the game so far. Holding on right now, 393 to 180. They are down in predictive infiltration grenades, not landing very well. They are holding on a 2-to-1 cap against, and these American players are doing a very good job in just kind of spreading the map quite a bit. I'm guessing we're just going to wait for another Pershing to kind of pop out here from Spanky, and we are going to see some mines getting placed down on the map. But I would like to see a lot more mines or upgrades being used for Predators. Like right now, he's got just tons and tons of munitions. And looking at the sheer amount of manpower being floated by both Crossfire as well as Brickman, one can only wonder what they're doing right now. Like I anticipated, we are going to see a Pershing come out on the map, and for some reason we are actually going to see the Major up on the front lines. Probably going to get wrecked pretty hardcore if he does not retreat. And one model getting dropped, two models getting dropped, and the other one gets away just in time. Another Calliope barrage. Yep, right around the southern part of the map, trying to push away the Shrimpios and successfully do that. At least right now, the manpower bleed, the ticket bleed for the Germans has been stopped. And I cannot help but wonder what they are doing and why they're not upgrading. Oof. Oof. Is there going to be another tank going down? No, there isn't. I thought we might see another tank get dropped by a volley on the ice. But we do see pretty much every one of these allied tanks safe. I am wondering right now why the Germans have not been utilizing their resources at all. There'd be at least the Panzer IV getting made, if not putting up the Panzer Corps. And, or, you know what, even a couple of Stugs right now would be a good idea. First of all, you can afford 2 of them, and it might not be a bad idea to just use them to kind of lure the Pershing into a anti-tank front. Whereas this Panzer IV, unfortunately, getting picked up, running over a mine that got placed out by Spanky quite a while ago. And I had to commend Spanky for being very active about placing those mines. But what is not going to work very well is probably to see the Germans drop these anti-tank guns, getting chased back by the captains of all these rear echelons. It might take a mile or 2 drop. And yes, guys, I am just kind of wondering what is going on right now with German players. They're just not being very efficient with their resources. We're going to finally see a Tiger come on the map, but is that too little too late? A Pershing, as well as those 2 Calliopes, I don't know if that's going to be a achievable mountain, let's say, for the German players. Whereas this infrared half-track also getting picked up. Unfortunately, a very, very brave half-track. And the Tiger tank is going to fire its gun into the ground in rage at the loss of that brave, brave tank. We'll see smoke grenades, the smoke shells coming down, which is kind of interesting. Maybe misplacing that just a wee bit. And we're also going to see Brickman continue to kind of put a ton of investment into those Rakettenwerfers. Not necessarily sure it's a great idea. But we are going to finally see a Panzer Command tank coming out as well, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe we are going to see a reversal of German fortunes on this map. Unfortunately for them, that still has meant they still have lost the infrared half-track, and the Stukas is not achieving anywhere near the effect that it probably should have on this map. Are we going to see a Sherman? Yep, here comes a barrage from the Sherman Calliope. My guess is right in this area, right over top of everyone. Yep, Rex. The Strempayos. Rex, that's Grenadier Squad. Might even have taken out this, the mechanics. Not entirely sure, it might have happened as well. But short of a very, very aggressive push by anti-tank forces, we might see quite a loss for the Germans in the very, very near future. This brave sniper, apparently the first one has finally died, so I don't know how many kills he had, but he is no longer with us.
Ready for assignment.
Is now back in the fight. He's picking on this Major. I'm not entirely sure whether the Major is assigned to chase him. Might see a Major get picked up as well. Nope, never mind. We see Captain forced by the sniper. A little bit of fire up. But yes, that is where we are, guys. The cookie is crumbling right now for the Germans. The Fat Lady is warming up on the side aisles, and I don't know if they can reverse it right now. I mean, right now they finally have picked up armored vehicles that can stick pretty hardcore and reverse at least 1-to-1 against the American vehicles, but at the same time they've just been taking forever and been floating such an incredible amount of resources that one kind of wonders what they're doing. Luckily for the Americans, they have been able to force away. I'm also hearing a recon plane going down. Where's it going down? There it goes. And decruise. There's a Kettenwerfer. Jeez, that's unlucky. As if it wasn't already pouring against the poor German forces on this one. Something just to kind of realize while watching this particular game is, first things first, do not float resources. I mean, they're there for a reason, use them. If you're not sure what to make, you can't go wrong with making like a very, very hardcore armored tank force, as long as you have the infantry to back it up. Even more so is the fact that, okay, well, he's just gonna, oh, he's just running P-47s on him consistently. Okay. Another thing to note is that, honestly, if you are taking fire, it might be better to be paying attention to what's going on. A lot of you has noticed a couple times here that guys have lost themselves in the micro and been getting wrecked in the macro. Another person's been called out for Spanky. The third one of the, oh no, the second one finally got repaired. My apologies. I was going to say it's the third one of the game, but that was the second one of the game. And the Stukas of Fus is firing, and not a lot is going to get accomplished by that. Maybe picking up this one squad right here. No, not even pick up this 57mm, which now has 2 stars of veterancy, and has done nothing else but really just damage aggressive tanks.
5 points.
And here comes another Calliope celebration. Unfortunately for them, not a lot's going to get accomplished. I kind of feel like if I was the U.S. players right now, I would just use the Calliope barrage in here all the time. I keep seeing that kind of fire being put out. And the rear echelon squad does get picked up, but with the 57mm in the middle of the map, as well as that pack howitzer, there is not a lot that's really being done to combat this AT threat in the middle of the field. Here we see one Brickman perfect get picked up. And these Rangers are going to pick up another squad in a second fight. This is the swan song for the Germans right now. In fact, I'm pretty much going to guarantee this. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because that's pretty much what's going on. That's all we got left. So I don't know if Brickman and Crossfire were separate or a randos that kind of got put together, or if WmD Spanky and Predators were just that much more able to work together. But it's unfortunate to note the Germans in this game kind of put themselves where they were, floating tons of resources, floating and kind of missing tech up opportunities to kind of gain an advantage over their opposite numbers. And here's a grenade to kind of pick on those AT guns. Yeah, guys, it is over. The fat lady has sung. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit and let the clock run out. While the rest of this is finishing up, let's put on the strategic map just for a second to kind of just see the Germans consistently rush back to their base in an attempt to reinforce. It is my joy to note that I have gotten all my computer parts in, so I'm going to put together that computer in the next couple of days. And by then, I hope you guys tune back to see a very, very impressive new machine, if I do say so myself. With that new machine and with this game ending, I hope you guys maybe check out some other videos on the channel, see XCOM 2, check out pretty much anything you want to, and start thinking of some games you might want to see on this channel. It's my full intention to use Dawn of War 3 when it comes out, as well as Civilization 6, those to a certain degree. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you want to see on the channel. Let's do my best to make it happen. But for the time being, this video is over, and this is Con Ulrich signing off. If you like what you see, comment, like, and subscribe below. If you have a game you want me to check out, let me know about that one too. But for right now, I'm calling it quits right now, guys. You guys have a great day. Take it easy.